Hello everybody and welcome to today's live learning session. I'm looking forward to spending some time with you and answering your questions. So for those of you who haven't joined me before, my name's Heather Murdoch. I'm part of the Access Now Success team. So it's my role to help you to understand more about Ezoic, your data and the wider publishing space, to help you to level up to level 1 and then to use the skills that you've learned while we've spent this time together to grow your business further with Ezoic. So with today's sessions, I put an hour aside every Wednesday morning between 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. GMT so that you can ask any questions you would like about Ezoic, the wider publishing space, your data, or anything you're seeing in your dashboard that you are curious about or got questions about. I'd love to help you. Now, if you're on Facebook or YouTube, if you go to the comments section and write your questions there, you'll then be able to drop that question into myself. I've got a second screen where I can see those questions coming through. I'll be happy to help answer those just as soon as I can. Hi, Matropia. Thank you for joining me today. Okay, so while we're waiting for the questions to come in, I've got an article that I'd like to take you through. But first of all, if you are watching this on replay, and I know many of you do, and thank you so much for doing that, if you have any questions that you think, oh, I really would have loved to have the opportunity to ask those if I was watching live, head over to community in the live learning session and feel free to drop your questions in that thread. I keep an eye on that thread and will be happy to answer your questions just as soon as I can. My shift pattern has changed from this week, so I'm now working from Saturday to Wednesday. So if you don't hear from me on Thursday and Friday, I will answer you as soon as I get back in on Saturday. So Nahome has said, hello, Heather. Hi, Nahome. Welcome to today. It's lovely to see you again. And Ali Mustafa has said, hi, Heather. Thank you so much, Al Mustafa. Lovely to have you joining today's session. Matopia has said, I disabled Ezoic for temporary reasons. I need to optimize my site and it will take a couple of days. Is that okay? If you're on a premium contract, I would recommend reaching out to the Ezoic team and letting us know what's happening. If you are on a premium contract, depending on which one you are, there are certain stipulations that we have in place around traffic going through your website. We do totally understand though that sometimes you need to optimize your site and take it down for a day or two, so that's absolutely no problem at all, but we do need to know about that, and it just helps us if you can drop a little note so that we can understand what's going on. Outside of that, if you aren't on a premium contract, then yes, of course, that's no problem. Like I say, we do understand that sometimes you need to take your site offline, you need to work on it, or you need to disable ads because you're wanting to change themes and things like that. So when you're ready to put the ads back on, do reintegrate with Ezoic and switch the traffic on. What I would recommend doing though is when you rejoin your site to Ezoic is just keeping an eye on your revenue over the next 7 days, and if it's not in line with what you were experiencing before, do check things like your privacy policy, consent management app, your ad placeholders, just to make sure that everything's still connected and there hasn't been any changes made with that sort of unoptimizing and re-optimizing of moving away and coming back to Ezoic. That way you can be confident that everything's working as expected. If you're a level 1 publisher or higher, you can reach out to us in your live chats or through tickets, and we'll be happy to help support you with that if you've got any questions. And if you're an Access Now publisher, then do reach out to us in community and we'd be delighted to help you with any questions that you've got. So I hope that helps. If anyone does have any questions, feel free to drop them into the comments box. I do put an hour aside every morning, but if you've got all your questions answered and you're happy with the information that you've got, then I do finish the sessions early, and that's so that I can head over to community or tickets and get those questions answered for yourself or other publishers just as soon as I can. Okay, so the article that I wanted to take you through was this 10 Ezoic dashboard tricks to help your site to make more money. We're hearing from a lot of publishers and can certainly understand that at the moment, the main focus for their website is around earning additional revenue, and that's to be expected and totally understandable. As a business, you do need to make sure that your revenue is growing, because that's helping you to stay in business and to also keep motivated as well, isn't it? So we've put this article together, which shows you different tricks that can help you to increase your revenue for your website. So I've popped that into the channel there. It was gone through to both Facebook and YouTube, so you can bookmark that and save that for later. I can see that a couple of questions that have come in, so I'll go to those questions, but if there's time, I will come back to this article later and walk you through it as well. So Al Mustafa has said, my question is, I joined Ezoic Premium last week. I'm still on the trial, but the Google AdSense mediation is winning most of my earnings, which I actually don't like. Okay. So with this, what's happening, Al Mustafa, is with the mediation, Google has to outbid itself and everyone else to put ads on your site. So Ezoic is a Google AdSense partner. So as standard, there are Google AdSense ads on your website as standard. This mediation puts Google in a position where they have to pay extra money to put ads on your website, and especially when you're on premium, they have to pay extra on top of that, because obviously premium advertisers are competing to get ads on your website as well, and they're willing to pay extra money. That's why they're a premium advertiser, to put ads on your site as well. So even though I can understand it might be feeling uncomfortable if you're seeing Google AdSense winning, what's actually happening is a good thing, because there's so much competition going on your website for different advertisers to place ads on your site. It's actually forcing the price of an ad or an ad space on your site up, so it'll be helping you to earn additional revenue. With you being on premium, what I would recommend doing is making sure that you've booked your premium review. So this gets you 30 minutes with our publisher success team, providing you're on a either annual or multi-year contract. They can help you to understand your data better and understand the next steps to help you to grow your website. And also you'll have access to 100 Flickify videos. So this is a huge game changer for you to be able to grow your business. So I would recommend, where you can, making the most of those 100 videos, and if you can, creating those 100 videos each month. With Flickify, they'll automatically put those videos into Humix, so make sure you've got both the Humix Grow and Share function switched on. So what happens there is Humix places the videos onto your website, so you can earn ad revenue through there. It also helps with your standing with Google, can also help with your traffic as well, getting traffic to your website, because videos rank independently from the written content. But also what it helps is if you've got the grow and share function switched on, those 100 videos that you're creating each month go into the Ezoic pot, and publishers who have got the share functionality on, they can have your videos on their website. So you earn 50% of the revenue, and so do they. I've seen publishers who have had sort of 2-3 days with their $100 each day from that grow and share functionality. Sometimes it can just be a couple of cents extra that you're earning. Then you can get these big spikes. It might then drop down. So it's a fantastic way of being able to boost your business. You're doing it totally for free. Flickify doesn't cost you anything. It becomes part of your Ezoic dashboard when you first join, and then obviously as premium, rather than getting 5 videos, you get 100. So yeah, worth taking a look into when you've got a minute. So I hope that helps. So Michopia has said, thanks, it clarified my concerns. No problem at all, you're so welcome. And then Nahoma said, my site revenue has dropped through time. I understand the seasonal effects, but sometimes it looks odd to me. My website visit numbers compared to revenue earned will ad placeholders be the case? It could be. So sometimes what happens when your site gets more and more established is that your traffic can increase, but your EPMV can drop off. And the reason for this is that when you first start out, you might not be getting that many visitors to your site. And so the EPMV is skewed because the data sort of pot that the averages are drawn on is just a small amount. And as your traffic grows, that sort of pot of data, if you like, for that EPMV sum gets more and more data in there. And so there's more and more outliers who are just coming to your site for, say, 30 seconds, getting the information that they want and then going. And obviously, the more time that your readers spend on your website, the more time Ezoic has to be able to monetize those readers for you. What I would recommend doing, Nahom, is take a look at the article that I dropped in, this one about the 10 Ezoic dashboard tricks to help your site make more money. Make sure everything's set up there correctly, because that's going to make a big difference to your revenue. And I'll also get another article as well that can really help you. So bear with me. And that's about the top 5 highest earning ad units for your site. So what I would recommend doing is going through your site, making sure you've got these top 5 highest earning ad units switched on or on your top performing website pages. What you can also do as well is when you're looking at your website, what you might find is that as your site's been growing, the top performing pages on your website has changed, which may mean that you need to refresh your ad placeholder setup. Say, for example, in the past, you were writing articles that were 800 words long, and now that you're developing your writing style, or perhaps using Niche IQ topics, you're expanding the volume of writing that you're doing. So you might be now writing articles that are 2,000 words long. You might find the bottom half of your website doesn't have ads on. And so by refreshing those ad placeholders, that can really help you again to increase your revenue as well. So I hope that helps, Nahom. Do let me know if you've got any questions that you would like to follow up on. Okay, so let's go to this article with the tricks on how to improve your revenue directly through the Ezoic dashboard. I'll walk you through them and just wait for any more questions to come in. I'll keep an eye out. So if you do have any questions, drop them in the chat there, and as soon as I can, I'll come back to you and get those answered for you. So the first thing to do that the article is recommending is go to your big data analytics to check pages without revenue. So you can find that report under content and then the pages without revenue report, and then it will show you all the pages that aren't earning any revenue at all. You might see pages in there which have got sort of 1 or 2 page views, and if you have, please don't worry if you've just got 1 or 2 page views that aren't earning any revenue. That can sometimes happen. Perhaps somebody's gone onto your website page and has seen a number of different pages on your site and clicked on that last page, got the information that they wanted in seconds, and then closed it down. So there hasn't been enough time for Ezoic to be able to place ads in front of that reader. Or it can be that there's just not enough ad placeholders on that page. So again, doing an ad placeholder review, just opening that page up, making sure, first of all, that the ads are loading, switch on your Chrome extension, and making sure those ad placeholders are well optimized can have a big impact on your revenue. The next thing to do is to enable ad mediation. So ad mediation, as we were speaking about before, can have a massive impact on your website, depending on how competitive the traffic is to get ads in front of those particular readers. So I would recommend getting the ad mediation set up if it isn't set up. Not everybody earns money with ad mediation, and some people who earn money with ad mediation, it might only be a cent or 2 a day. But obviously when you've got that set up, you just leave it and let it do its optimizing. So you don't need to kind of go back to it. It takes about 20 minutes to get set up, and then it means that you can feel confident you aren't leaving any revenue on the table. Next thing to do is to complete your top optimization tasks. So everybody who's got levels, and I know not everybody does have levels, but everybody that does have levels within their Ezoic dashboard also has a top optimizations section, which you can find underneath the scores here. You can then click on these arrows and it will show you all your different optimization scores that you've got. If you see something that is red, that means that we recommend that it's not switched on. Or if you see something that's less than 100 out of 100, so this one's 93 out of 100, you can click on this box and that will open up a pop-up and it will talk you through what you can do to help increase that score. What you want to do is get an overall score up here, if you can, of 100, because that means your Ezoic dashboard is optimally set up. We do understand, though, that sometimes you might want to put certain restrictions on your site. And again, that's absolutely fine. As a business owner, you've got that flexibility with Ezoic, but it just helps you to know where there are opportunities to grow your business more. So next one is setting up your ads correctly. So if you've got AdSense ads on your website originally, do make sure that they're wrapped with AdSense code. If you're on WordPress, do use the Ezoic WordPress plugin to generate ad placeholders, and then you can either add additional ad placements in using the hard coding to put the ad code into your website, or use the Chrome extension to be able to do that. So what you're looking for when you're setting up the ad placeholders is generally to have one ad every scroll. So usually about 2 to 5 paragraphs based on the content length of those paragraphs. You want to make sure that you're utilizing the high performing ad placeholders. So that's top of the page and under page title. Advertisers will actually pay more to place ads on your site in those particular ad placeholders. Please don't worry though. I know sometimes people think, well, I don't want an ad right at the top of my website. I want my readers to see my title and my content first. I can totally understand that. So all you need to do with that is just make sure the first ad on your page is the top of page ad placeholder, and then the second ad on your page is the under page title, under first paragraph, and then under second paragraph, and then in content 1 down. And that way you're still getting all those ad placeholders on your website in the correct order, so those advertisers can then bid on them. And also you want to make sure you've got a variety of ad types set up. So if you just choose one particular ad size and one particular ad placeholder type, you're not going to be getting the most optimal revenue for your site. And the reason for that is advertisers have different goals and different ad formats that they've set up. So by restricting the types of ads down, the size of ads down, you're going to be preventing those advertisers from placing ads on your website. So by having a good variety of ad sizes and ad types on your website, you can potentially increase your revenue by 10 to 25%. Okay, so the next one is to make sure you've got your optimization goal settings to revenue focus. You can find that in your dashboard here, and then switch on the revenue focused. And then make sure in Humix you've got the enable ads toggle switched on so that we can monetize those Flickify videos for you and any YouTube videos of yours that you've uploaded to Ezoic. Turn off ad restrictions. So I can understand some people being concerned about having certain types of ad categories on their site. And if you do want to keep them off, then we totally understand. AdSense does a very similar thing where you can restrict down categories. And so we have that as well. So again, you've got that flexibility to be able to run your business the way you want to. It is important to remember, though, that the more restrictions you do have on your site, the more limitations you can have on your revenue as well. Make sure you've got your traffic to 100% through Ezoic. If you've just got it at 90, you're only going to be earning 90% of the potential revenue for your website. And then make sure you're creating your Flickify videos and putting it on Humix. Like I say, it just takes a couple of minutes to create that Flickify video and render it. And then once you've got Humix set up, Humix does the rest of the work for you. And then make sure you've got the maximize revenue button switched on. You can find it in your Ezoic dashboard here. And what that does is it switches on a lot of the things automatically that in the past you would have needed to switch on to make sure your website is well optimized with Ezoic ads. So I hope that helps and you've got some good ideas from that on how you could grow your business. I thought while we had this time together, it would be worth taking you through that. What I'll do is I'll just give it another couple of minutes to see if any questions come in. If they don't, I will close the session down for today so that I can go and answer tickets on community and tickets as well and get back to people quicker. But if you do have any questions, I'll be here for another couple of minutes before we finish today. Okay, so we don't have any more questions that have come in today. So I just want to thank you all so much for joining me today on the live sessions. Next week, I've got one at 12 o'clock GMT Tuesday lunchtime. So that's for 30 minutes, a lunchtime session to be able to ask your questions and get them answered live. And then as normal, Wednesdays, 9 a.m. GMT, I'll be online for an hour or for as many questions that you have to answer those. So I hope you all have a really great week and I look forward to catching up with you next week. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.